So pay-per-click advertising, very simply, PPC stands for pay-per-click. It's a model of internet marketing in which an advertiser pays a certain fee each time an ad is clicked. Now, this is exactly how these specific platforms make their money. Okay, so Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, the reason why these companies are billion-dollar companies is because of pay-per-click advertising. Now, pay-per-click advertising versus traditional means of media, like, for example, TV or radio or newspapers, like the olden times, it works because you're able to target a very specific audience. You're able to put your ads only in front of your most valuable customers, and you're able essentially to just zero in on who is most important to you. So instead of just targeting the entire male population, you're able to target the people who are most closer to who are most close, sorry, most closer, who are the most close to the kinds of people that you want to be able to market and sell to. Now, I feel like the biggest contribution of pay-per-click advertising, it's not so much the behavioral targeting that you're able to do, but more so the ability to measure almost every action a customer takes, down to the last click. Literally everything that they do, from the first time that they see your ad to the point where they make a purchase on your website, you're able to track that down to the last click. And that's really, really powerful stuff. This is extremely important because of the old adage, which is essentially what gets measured gets managed. And if I'm looking at my marketing funnel and I'm looking at the numbers, for as long as I can measure it properly, I can manage it and I can influence it positively for my business. Because, again, at the end of the day, and I like to tell this to our clients, if our marketing efforts don't translate into sales, it doesn't matter how gimmicky or how creative it was. It's a bad marketing campaign. Good marketing campaigns drive conversions. That's the simple truth. And our job is to ensure that we do create campaigns that are witty, that are very insightful and helpful, but measure all of those steps to ensure profitability for our clients. So that's why it's important, because basically what gets measured gets managed. So Miggy, what do you need to measure then? What are the metrics? I want you guys to be able to have the right frame of mind first, the right mindset. And I like to revolve around this thought that on average, it takes customers about 7 to 13 interactions with you in an online space before they take any sort of action. Now, if you think that's a ridiculous number, you just have to be able to audit your own purchasing behavior to realize that this is very close to the truth of your own purchasing behavior. So just imagine a scenario where you're discovering a brand for the very, very first time. So I'm not talking like Jollibee or those big important brands. I'm talking about first-time brands. Never seen or heard of them before. This is your first interaction with them. And if you audit yourself, you're going to realize that you do tend to jump around from online platform to online platform before you even make that decision to ask about their product or look at their menu or make a purchase. Okay, you make all of these interactions, and my job as a marketer is that I want to be able to measure every step and see what you need to improve on. If my mindset is, okay, I need to make sure that I interact with this person 7 to 13 times before they do anything that's important for my business, I want to make sure that I'm measuring each of those steps. And I can ensure that I can improve each of those steps. So just to share very briefly, so we talked about this in our previous webinar, and I'll go through it just quickly. This is our paid advertising campaign framework, and this is what we share with our clients. So every campaign, every paid advertising campaign or PPC campaign has to have 3 components. You have to have an acquisition campaign, where you're doing 2 activities. You're prospecting and you're re-engaging with customers. You have a retargeting campaign, where you're inspiring your warm audience to take action and complete a purchase or submit a form or register in your site, whatever activity is important to you in your business. And then last, you have a retention campaign. You're building brand love by encouraging past customers to interact with you again. So at any given time, right? At any given time, our clients have more or less these three kinds of campaigns running simultaneously. Now, for each campaign, I have a very specific goal, and just for simplicity's sake, let's just wrap it up like this. In my acquisition campaigns, my goal is to sell the click, meaning I'm not trying to sell the product the very first time that they interact with me. I'm just trying to get them to my website. And side note, I feel like this is the biggest mistake most pay-per-click advertisers or most marketers who are trying to do the online thing. This is what they get wrong more often than not. That when they first run their advertising campaigns, they try to sell the product on the first click or on the first interaction. That's crazy. That's like trying to get married on the first date. It's great if you're able to do that, right? Props to you. But on average, you're not going to see that happen all the time. So sell the click during acquisition campaigns. And then when you're doing the retargeting, that's where you sell the product. So you get your warm audience and then you show them advertisements again, and then that's where you get them to buy. So that's where the 7 to 13 interactions kind of happen during this stage. And then of course the retention, where you sell the brand love or you sell what it means to be associated with a brand like you.